Hey guys, welcome to HipHughes History. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling the AP government exam, and we're gonna bang out iron triangles for you guys. No, it's not from a superhero movie. It's right from the exam. So whether you're a kid in school, you're a lifelong learner, or you're cray-cray on the internet,
Iron triangles.
all right, guys, let's frame it out. Let's know what iron triangles are. The very basic definition is this is kind of a sub-governmental process that creates policy. This is how it happens, baby. We're going to look at the pros and the cons in a second, but let's kind of frame it out first. We'll get an iron triangle. I got one in my pocket. It's amazing. So make sure you get the 3 vocabulary words down or don't show up to the exam. Up on top of the iron triangle, your major player is going to be committees in Congress and really subcommittees. There's a number of committees. There's even more subcommittees. And this is where the real magic happens. This is where the nuts and the bolts of policy gets created. These are really where laws get written. So that's A. B, we have bureaucracy. These are the enablers of policy. These are the guys that put verbs behind the laws. These are the guys that enforce things, that do things. So whether it's the Food and Drug Administration, or the Social Security Administration, or the Department of Defense, there are bureaucracies that put governmental policies into action. They're really important because their decisions involve billions and billions and trillions of dollars. And then, of course, we have on the last point on the triangle, your major player is going to be your special interests. Sometimes on the exam, they're called SIGs, special interest groups, but these could be liberal groups like the Sierra Club or Planned Parenthood. These could be business groups like the Chamber of Commerce or an agricultural company. These could be a civil rights group like the NRA or the American Civil Liberties Union. It really can be any type of special interest group that has something in this, right? So what are the pros and what are the cons? And then we'll just kind of throw some really quick examples without going into too much detail. Well, the pros, the reason that we have them, the reason you're going to argue on the exam that they're a good thing is because they're really kind of the verbiage behind Madison's Fed 10. Remember Madison's Fed 10 where he talks about factions, right? This is how we're going to have a republic that survives, that people in a democracy, when you have hundreds of millions of people, you can't get anything done because all you hear is singular voices. So special interest groups are kind of the voice of the people. So this gives pluralism a chance. This gives everybody access to a special interest group where they can, hopefully influence public policy. So this is the greatest thing ever because in a sense it allows access to your government. So the negatives, I guess there's a whole bunch of negatives, but one of them would be people would claim that it's undemocratic. There's something called constituents and consumers. So let's take like the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, which has a certain amount of consumers. These would be people that digest food and take medicine, right? So that's like everybody. So let's say they're playing with a policy in Congress, for instance, about, I don't know, whether or not you can put pharmaceutical ads on TV. A long time ago, that was illegal. You couldn't put a Viagra commercial on TV. Your doctor would have to recommend it. So that's in the best interest, according to the FDA back then, of everybody. The doctors know best that we don't want to just kind of have pharmaceutical companies panhandling the consumers that are going to go to their doctors and demand this newest drug. So why would they change that policy? Well, certainly there's pharmaceutical companies that have a vested interest in getting their ads on TV. So how does the iron triangle work? That pharmaceutical company is going to support congressmen and congresswomen. They're going to funnel money into their campaign. They're going to bundle money. They're going to raise money. They're going to help them win election. So now that that guy is sitting pretty and he's on a subcommittee that deals with this type of issue, well, you know what he has to do. He's going to create favorable legislation that's going to allow these pharmaceutical companies to put ads on TV. And the FDA or whatever bureaucratic agency that deals with that issue is going to enforce that and allow that to happen. So all these guys are in camp together, and the policy that we would get might serve the constituents, which are the special interest group members, but they might not always protect all of the consumers. And there's tons of examples, whether it's why we have farm subsidies or oil subsidies, or why they can't get Keystone passed, or why Halliburton gets huge contracts for military stuff during war. All of this relates to the iron triangle. Another negative of that iron triangle would be this revolving door concept. A lot of times if you're a congressman, if you're creating favorable legislation, when you retire, you might be able to get a nice cozy fat job in this special interest group. There's a lot lobbyist, and then you can sit pretty on another point of that iron triangle. So get iron triangles down. They're kind of the lifeblood of factions and Fed 10, and certainly they're not the most democratic things in the world, but they are a level of government that creates policy. So say it with me one more time. You have congressional committees, you have bureaucratic agencies, and then you have your special interest groups, and it's kind of the flow between all of these guys that creates policy, and they all rub each other's back. Hopefully not in a creepy way. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't subscribed to HipHughes History. We have like a zillion videos, maybe not a zillion, but a whole bunch. All you gotta do is press that big red button, guys. And certainly, we thank you for pressing the buttons, and we thank you for subscribing, and we thank you for knowing that where your attention goes, your energy flows. We'll see you next time. You wanna do a little bit of learnings.